Is leadership overlooked in Football Manager as an attribute? I know I personally like it on my captain, my team leaders, and a few other players, but to be honest, when I come to buy my generic centre forwards, wingers, and all that, doesn't even come into consideration. I'm not bothered if someone's got 1 or 2 leadership, to be perfectly honest. So, how important is it? Well, what if we gave an entire squad no leadership? 1 out of 20 for every single player. Well, today, we're going to find out what happens. It's another attribute breakdown. It's another squad we're going to simulate through their careers. Let's find out what happens. And welcome back to the channel. It's the Oldham days of sorts. We're with Oldham in the Vanarama National League because of course we are, because we go to the Vanarama National League every single time with these. Transfer embargo for Oldham until 2045 as per usual. And here is the squad, ladies and gentlemen. 90 current ability, 200 potential ability, 1 leadership for every single player. Transfer to Saudi Arabia Al Shabab in 2045 with a £25 million price tag per player. Other than that, that is about it for this introduction section. As you can see, all the players have 1 current ability. Sorry, all the players have 1 leadership, although you saw it on the squad screen. We'll just have a quick skim through and look at some of the lovely mid-journey faces that I've done and I've paid good money for. So in terms of the season preview, the media think they're going to potentially go up automatically just behind Chesterfield, but only one team does go up automatically, so they think they're going to get into the playoffs, and if results go their way, they might win the league. In my opinion, well, I don't know at this moment in time. Only one player is in the Media Dream 11, Oldham goalkeeper 2. And if we look at the squad, 90 current ability, 200 potential ability, they've got it within themselves to try and get there. I mean, if we look at the hidden attributes, so you've got pressure, professionalism, temperament, consistency, ambition, all good yellow attributes. So I can't see it being a problem in terms of actually reaching their potential. A lot of them have got good determination as well. So will leadership affect them actually progressing as players? And even if it does or it doesn't, that's one thing that we're going to learn. But if it doesn't, and they do progress and actually become decent in terms of their current ability, will the lack of leadership just stop them as a team? I mean, they've got teamwork, but with no one leading them, will they just be aimless? Will, when they go behind in the game, will that be it? Who knows? Well, let's jump forward the first season and find out if they've been promoted. Well, have we ever seen a more disappointing first season than that? 14th in the Vanarama National League. You'd be forgiven, ladies and gentlemen, for not realising where they were. Fortunately for you, I've put a little note on the team so you can see a little yellow dot. But bloody hell, 14th! I did not expect that in the slightest. Carl Robinson has been brought in as the manager because Mickey Mellon was sacked. Deary me. Deary me. Well, in terms of the current abilities, we have moved up to 115 for a couple of them. Loads in the 1-teens. A lot of them have got themselves over 100 as well. So we're talking decent progression. 25 attribute points for a couple and over 20 for over half the squad. How many actually has it been? 12, literally half the squad. Sorry, over half the squad. My correction, half the squad. In terms of leadership, some of them have moved up to 2. So that is going to change over the course of this experiment. It's probably going to be the most growth of an attribute, in my opinion, because we've already seen growth on multiple players. But I can't believe how badly they did. In terms of the Vanarama National League, the media this season think they're going to go up 48-1 on, and it's an absolute landslide in the Media Dream 11. Everett and Roberts are the only players that aren't from Oldham, and that's because they play on the right and left midfield, and of course we have wingers that, do not play there. What are Oldham playing as a system? Well, that's very reminiscent of the Oldham days. It's like being back at Oldham, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? We played this in the Vanarama National League and went up as champions in that first season on Football Manager 2023. But enough of that, let's move forward to the second season and find out if they've managed to go up this time. But before we do that, if you like this sort of thing, please do subscribe to the channel. It is really helping me on my march all the way up to 10,000 subscribers. I can't believe we're over 7,000. Well, at the time of recording, I'm over 7,000. Who knows where I'll be when this comes out, because I'm bulk recording well in advance in order to try and stay on top of my schedule. But enough of that admin, enough of that begging. Let's go through to 2025 and see how Oldham are getting on. Okay then, so we are looking at an absolute landslide of a season. I mean, the players did progress to the 1-teens. It was an underachievement, let me tell you that for free. The media thought they were going to finish second, so 14th is abysmal. Imagine, like, that's literally like someone like, well, Liverpool or City finishing like 14th, you know, like United and Chelsea probably will. I'm a United fan, so sad times. Okay, so they've done well. Fantastic, well done, Oldham. In terms of the squad then, let's have a quick look at the team, and we've got loads in the 120s, quite a few in the 1-teens. Where are some of those players? Have they gone to the under-18s? They have. 1, 2, 3 players have gone to the under-18s. Don't know why they've sent them there. You want them back up in this squad to keep progressing. We've got every player apart from 4 who has moved from 1 leadership to at least 2. Quite a few have got to 3. 120s is where everyone's at. So they're really kicking on well, to be honest, and I think they're only going to go from strength to strength. So in terms of Sky Bet League 2, the season preview, 91-1 on, and look, winger 2, well, he's only been retrained as a right midfielder, so he can play on the right of midfield, which means he's now in the Media Dream 11. Tyreek George is the only player who is not from Oldham in this Media Dream 11. 91-1 on, well, they should go up at a canter. So let's go to 2026 and see if they do. And they did. So they went up as champions by 5 points. They were promoted by 16 in the end, ahead of Carlisle, who finished 4th. So it was an absolutely phenomenal season again. And maybe that first season was just a bit of an anomaly. I'm not sure what happened there. Carl Robertson's loving life. And the players are progressing on really nicely. And as you can see here, moving forward into the 130s, loads in the 120s, moving up to 4 leadership now, Oldham centre-back 1. He is probably the captain. Oldham centre-back 4 doing really well as well. It's just been a good season all round for Oldham. In terms of awards, shall we have a quick look down in the Vanarama National League? So player of the season, no one for Oldham was the player of the season for the last few years. Top goal scorer, Oldham centre forward 3 when they went up as champions, ahead of Dipo Akinyemi. Centre forward 1 also with 21 goals, same as Dipo but more games played and less assists. 27 goals scored though for centre forward 3. He is a fantastic player. He's scoring lots of goals. There's his attributes, rounding off quite nicely. In terms of last season then, Oldham centre forward 2 was the top goal scorer. Centre forward 3 was second. Sam Nombe making up the top 3. He did pretty well in the Vanarama National League as well. So in terms of League 1, the Oldham team are predicted again to go up as champions, 10-1 on this time, although not all the positions are taken up by Oldham players. Even the right midfield for the retrained winger, he's not managed to sneak himself into the squad because Sorba Thomas is in the squad at 119. Okay, I'm not too sure about that, but what are you going to do? So, can they go up? Do you know what? I'm not sure they will. I'm not overly confident they will go up this season. We'll see. Let's go to 2027. Okay, they did go up as champions, so that shut me up. 3 points they won the league by, and they went ahead. They were ahead of Huddersfield again by 17 points, a great margin. So, doing really well in fairness. Player of the season was Chiquino for Birmingham. Chiquino, what a player he looks like. He's very good for this league, to be fair. No second and third place, but the top goal scorer, of course, Oldham centre forward 2, Logan Hamilton for Fleetwood in second, and centre forward 3 in third. So we're now up in the championship, and we'll check on the media prediction in a moment. But before we do that, let's have a quick look at the senior squad, and look at this. We have got 140s up here for a good portion of the squad, a couple in the 130s and a few in the 120s. If we have a quick look at the Sky Bet Championship, then the season preview says second position, and 5 players are in the Media Dream 11, so nearly half are in the Media Dream 11. So they stand an outside chance. I'm thinking that this might be bridged too far too soon. I think a season in the Championship, while a few other players catch up with their current abilities and a few players kick on, next season will probably be the season. But we will only jump through 1 year. But before we do that, shall we take over as manager of Oldham just for a moment and see what the team hierarchy and structure looks like? So we have team leaders, we have highly influential players, and we have influential players. So there's no real issues over here, is there? Well, let's say we have influential players. We have 1 influential player. In terms of the team leaders then, 5, 4, 3. So doesn't seem to be too much in the way of strong leadership in any sort of sense. I mean, in terms of the core social group, they're all in the same social group because, I mean, they're all the same personality, so they all get on very clearly. In terms of happiness, they're all really happy, very satisfied. Yeah, the good cohesion, good club atmosphere, good managerial support, even though I've only just joined the club. Okay, so the hierarchy isn't anything that I was wondering if after a few years there was just nothing in team leaders, because I thought that might be the case, but no, that's not the case at all. We've got some players with a smidge of leadership and they are taking on that challenge. Okay, so let's go to 2028. And they've won the championship. They've won the league again. They've gone up as champions back to back from the Vanarama National League, despite the first season in the Vanarama National League being absolutely abysmal. I did not expect this comeback and this sort of level of success, considering how bad they were in the first season. Because I'm going to be doing 20 leadership at some point, and I'm wondering what that's going to showcase, because this is just blown my mind. I thought leadership would actually be really important, and it turns out at this point, I can't even speak. It seems to have been very important to begin with the first season, and then ever since, not so much of a problem. Won the league again in terms of the awards. Top goal scorer, centre forward 3. Says Cunha in second and Beto in third. Player of the season was Riccardo Orsolini for Nottingham Forest. Dan James winning it the season before that. So Oldham are in the Premier League then. The squad is saying this. 158 for Oldham goalkeeper 2. Loads in the 150s, loads in the 140s. And look at this. 3 players with 6 leadership. Quite a few with 5. It's just kicking on nicely, isn't it? And no England caps yet. Just put international caps in over here just so we can see how many caps they get during the course of their careers. But they're in the Premier League and the media think they're going to finish 12th. So the media is confident that they're going to stay up. And as am I. We're going to go through 2 years now to 2030 because I can't see them coming down. Let's back them. Let's back them. Look at that. Usman Diamonde and Evan Ferguson, both for Man United. 117 million they paid for him, United. Just now. Literally just paid 117 million pounds for him. Wouldn't say no in real life. Okay, so the first season in the Premier League, slotting themselves in perfectly in mid-table, finishing 10th in that first season in 2030. And then the following season, 7th, Europa League football. Someone's probably won the Conference League. Someone's won the Europa League or Champions League. I mean, 6 Champions League places, 3 Europa League places. A lot of European success in this season, one would expect. In terms of the players, the senior squad is saying what? Loads in the 170s, 1 in the 160s, and quite a few in the 150s. And look, they're all being capped. And look at this. Oldham right back 2 is at 9 leadership. Well, they've got loads of leaders in the squad now. They've got themselves up there. They're closing in on their potential. They are only 24 years old. I can see titles coming in the near future. In terms of England, Sergei Yakirovich is in charge. Thomas Frank has also been in charge. We've not had Ralph in charge of England yet. Where is Ralph plying his trade? He's unemployed. Someone give that man a job. He's just left Fulham. He got sacked in February after he spent 3 years there, following 3 years at Burnley. Someone hire Ralph, please, before he retires. In terms of the season preview then, this time the media think they're going to finish 9th, which is fair enough. That's a very fair sort of assessment. Who's this Truffert? Adrian Truffert. He's good, isn't he? He's not bad. He's not bad at all. £66 million from Rennes. So media think they're going to finish 9th. We've got a very good squad. I think they're going to do better than 9th. They've already finished 7th in Europa League football. I'm telling you now, they're going to get in the conference. They're going to get into Europe again. Hang about. Carabao Cup win. A Carabao Cup win against Chelsea in 29-30. Go on, Oldham, you old dogs. They're going to get into Europe again this season. I would say Europa League or better. Champions League is the aim. And in terms of the players, as you can see, yeah, we're here at 170s and quite a few in the 160s. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump through 4 years. No, sorry, let's go through 5 years to 2035. Do 5-year jumps now because we've got 3 5-year jumps we can do before we finish off at the very end. They'll be 29. They won't have declined yet. So in that interim, they should have got to the potential. And in theory, they should have won some trophies. So let's go to 2035 and see how they're getting on. So there we were, Europa League football and Carabao Cup winners in 7th, and the following season it was 6th. Europa League football yet again, so they did not win the Europa League because they would be Champions League qualifying. They did finish 5th and get Champions League qualification the following season. Is that a Europa League win for someone or a Champions League win for someone? Because 6 teams have got in there, but 5th for Oldham and Champions League football. 5th again and Champions League football, and some European trophy shenanigans has happened down here to cause this riffle, I guess. Maybe, I'm not sure. We'll see. Maybe it's just an FA Cup or Carabao Cup. Who knows? But 2032, 33, and it was 5th again for Oldham. And out of nowhere, they've leapfrogged everyone and won the bloody league. champions in 33-34, the first major trophy other than the Carabao Cup. Actually, they might have won cups on the way. So yeah, that's just bollocks. We don't know that. That's so substantiated. Premier League champions. Can they do it again? Oh, no. 6 points off the pace of Liverpool. Second place they were, 34-35, and that was the most recent season. So in terms of the season preview, media think they're going to finish second. Most of the team is in the Media Dream 11. Not one single player plays for Manchester United, yet they're favourites to win the league. So work that one out. Carl Robinson is still in charge. They have won a Europa League in 2032. They beat Villarreal after the season before losing to Espanyol in the final. Ooh, dearie me. In terms of current abilities, well, we have got some players that have moved up to 13, 11 and 11 respectively for 3 players in terms of leadership. A few others have got up between 8 and 10. There's quite a few players that have never really progressed it, but they're players that probably haven't really played much and haven't kicked on as players at all. And they haven't got international caps. It's all these guys that have got the international caps. 56, 50, 60, 70s over here. And yeah, England are probably winning quite a lot of stuff. Sean Dyche is in charge, and they've just won the World Cup in 2034, beating Italy in the final. It was Jude Bellingham and Martin Clark, so no players from Oldham scored in the final, but they scored all 3 in the semi. Scored in the quarters and in the round of 16. Look, one in the second round, and in terms of the group stage, yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Well, quite a few people have been in charge of England. Zinedine Zidane's been there for a little bit. He resigned, and he went to become the manager of Everton after being the manager of United. What? Zinedine Zidane at Everton. Mental. So as we saw the season preview, going back and look at the squad again, lots of them are fantastic over here, and they've moved on with their leadership. So I expect more trophies in these next 5 years. They will start to decline. Players will start to decline. So they need to win it in the next couple, really. Can they hold on to their ability for a bit longer? Get a few more trophies under the belt? Well, we will find out. Let's go to 2040, see how they're getting on. So after finishing second in the 34-35 season, they won it the following season by 6 points ahead of Manchester United, the media's favourite to win the league. That was the second time Oldham won the league, and then they won it again by 6 points ahead of United in the 36-37 season, and again this time by 10 points ahead of Liverpool in the 37-38. Oh, it's an absolute whitewash. This time only by a point beating Man City, but they did win it in the 38-39 season, and most recently it was Man City, and they're down in 4th, and I think they're going to start to fall away. That's it for their trophy haul, I think. But they have won 5 Premier Divisions. They've won a Europa League, which we saw in 2032. They've won the FA Cup in 2038. But let's just take a moment to look at the Champions League trophy that they won in 2037. So in terms of the FA Cup, they beat Crystal Palace in the final the season after they lost to Manchester City. So redemption there. It was in the Carabao Cup, really. In the Champions League, 3 in a row for Liverpool. Wow, look at that. Losing in the final to Man City in 32-33, beating PSG in 36-37, and then losing in the most recent final to Liverpool, who've won 3 on the spin. Fair play. Look who's won it just below. Inter Milan. We're representing Inter Milan in 35-36, who are managed by no one. Juan Reynoso has just retired from management. Unai Emery left. He's now the Manchester United manager, has been since 2034, 6 years. And Simone Inzaghi is the current England manager. Fair play. So, in terms of the squad, how are they doing? Carl Robinson's still in charge, of course he is. They're holding up quite well, loads in the 180s. They've lost all the 190s abilities, but to be honest, at 34 years old, still having a lot of players in the 180s is pretty good, isn't it, really? We've got 5 years to hold on to Premier League status. Can they do it? I think they probably can. Yeah, after finishing 4th, the next season they finished 4th again. Liverpool winning the league. Everton in 2nd, down in 11th for Oldham. That doesn't look good, does it? What a drop-off that was. 12th, Liverpool, well, look at that, 102 points, winning by 17 points. Everton's still up there. Todd Cantwell is in charge. Zinedine Zidane left the building. Liverpool winning it again. We're 17th in 43-44. So 44-45. This is the last season. Oh, down 17 points. Oh, 34 points was safety. They needed to double their points tally. That's a bad season, isn't it? That's a bad season. Nathan Collins is in charge. Nothing to smile about, Nathan. Lots of players in the 130s, but a couple in the 140s and 50s, but not a lot. Ashley Rogers, a young player that's come into the club through the youth academy. Lots of upgrades in terms of leadership, and look at all these caps over here. 151 for defensive midfield. midfielder, 163 for the goalkeeper, 152 for the left back. So they've done very, very good for England over the years. Justin Shaw is loving life. He won the Euros in 2036. Denmark won the most recent Euros. Fair play to them. Yeah, disappointing really for Oldham to actually fall out of the league. But what can we learn from today's experiment? Well, leadership hasn't had that much of a detrimental impact. They've improved it a little bit, just enough, won a load of trophies, and then they've got relegated because the players have fallen off in terms of ability. I think it just is what it is. I mean, we are going to jump forward through to see where we got up to and how they recovered with the money that they get. Let's do that quick. Okay, so we're in 2059, and as you can see here, Oldham have actually just been relegated on 21 points. So they haven't won any more trophies, of course they haven't. They've just been relegated because, yeah, they have. In terms of domestic leagues then, so 2045, they did get relegated, as we saw. The Championship, they did recover within 3 years, gotten back up to the Premier League, but they couldn't survive in the Premier League, down again. Finishing in playoffs 2 years in a row, the second year being successful, back to the Premier League, and unfortunately succumbing again to relegation in the 2051-52 season. In 52-53, it was once again promotion via the playoffs, and then it was Premier League survival. Lower mid-table for quite a few seasons, but they did survive until most recently where they did get relegated, which is quite unfortunate. But that is, I mean, yeah, they won the Carabao Cup again in 2037. That was with the players. They've won the FA Cup once, the Europa League once, 1 Champions League and 5 Premier Leagues. In terms of the Premier League, well, of course, West Ham have snuck one. West Ham always win one in the 50s. You go 25 years into a save game, West Ham become amazing. Or Tottenham, or both. Where are Tottenham? Tottenham are nowhere at the moment. 17th. Tottenham have done badly in this universe. Ipswich up in 8th there. The lay of the land is looking very different. Chelsea in 14th, exactly the same as now. Man City on top of the league, of course. Newcastle up there. Fulham doing pretty well. Liverpool getting Europa League football. It's going to happen after Klopp's leaving. And yeah, Rotherham getting relegated. Derby and Forest 15th and 16th respectively. Fair play to them. Should we have a quick look at the Golden Ball / Ballon d'Or / whatever it's called. So the Oldham centre forward 2 in 2036-37 did win it ahead of Endrick in second place. That's the only time anyone won the Ballon d'Or, but fair play, someone did win it. That's impressive in itself. The Football of the Year. Oh, Oldham centre forward 2. Centre mid 2 was second, and centre forward 3 the year previous. Colin Caffrey for Liverpool was pretty good, wasn't he? Player of the Year was, again, centre forward 2 and 3. Both had a little stint with it. Fair play to them. Centre mid 2 in second place both seasons in a row. Jude back in third in that season. In terms of World Team of the Year, no one's going to be in it. No one's going to be in it. Well, shut me up then. Oldham defensive mid 1 got into the overall Team of the Year, as did centre back 3. Can you believe that? I certainly can't. Absolutely unbelievable. Well, there you go. 2 Oldham players managed to get in. And what have we learnt from today's experiment then, class? Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we've learned that leadership doesn't matter as much as, well, I was going to say as much as you might think, but I didn't think it mattered a whole lot anyway. It was never an attribute that I really cared about, and I thought maybe I should. Shall we do a test? Well, today's test was pretty conclusive. Now, we've seen a full squad with no leadership, and we will automatically assume after the success of this that the max leadership one will be quite a success. But is there going to be too many with max leadership? Is that going to cause friction amongst the team? We will find out. We are going to do that experiment because I'm wondering if they're going to be more successful or less, because it might be interesting to learn. Too many influential and high leadership players could actually be a bad thing. So we will be revisiting this on the flip side with the 20 attribute as always. Any ideas for future attribute breakdowns or other experiments, please do let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this, drop a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.